What's up, you guys? So this video is a facial video, and I'm going to talk about the who the did I marry woman. I don't know if you've been in a shoebox, but this lady has been trending everywhere. And I just want you guys to know that this is why I am looking at this video and looking at my husband sideways. So let's get into it. What's up, you guys? If you don't know me, my name is K and Kim, and this is K and Kim TV, where we have fun, we laugh, love, we do hauls, we do videos, we do a lot of things. If you like that, please subscribe, like, comment, and don't forget to share, because you guys are helping us grow on this channel, and we appreciate that. To be honest with you guys, I've watched this video, I've watched all of her episodes, and they're like between 5 to 10 minutes. If you watched it, you would know. I'm going to link all her information down at the bottom. And she just brought the world to a whole different way of looking at men, looking at our relationships. And this is what I have learned for my relationship. It scares me. It scares me, and it really does. It really does. It really did wake me up as a person. I'm gonna tell you a little bit about this. She met her husband during COVID, or right before COVID, and they began dating. And she talks about the things that he told her and everything that he was promising. And this woman really thought that she was the one for him. Like, this is her time. This is her relationship. She wanted to make things happen. This woman literally met this man, and she thought that God was answering all her prayers. He was a provider. He fooled her into believing that he was the type of man that was traditional and that he will be able to take care of her. Everything that she would want in a man. I was like, yes. When I first heard the story, I'm thinking that her husband was a narcissist. And he does have narcissistic tendencies. So I'm looking at this lady, and I'm saying to myself, this could have been anybody. When she met this guy and married this guy was like what she thought was the best thing since sliced bread. And I'm looking like, wow, this guy is really, he was really coming at her and love bombing her and just showing her a side of himself that would make her want to marry him, right? So she ends up dating this guy, marrying this guy, and then she realized that everything this guy had told her, right down to his family members and everything that he's told her, was a lie. And because this guy was lying to her and she started figuring it out, she realized that she had to get out of that relationship. I'm going to link her TikTok, and I want you guys, if you can, go, and if you don't watch all of it, because it's an eye-opener, even if you're married already, because it's an eye-opener for me. So now I'm afraid that who the F did I marry? And not to be funny, after I watched this, I did have a conversation with my husband. He brought up 3 points when I compared him to this man and this relationship and what she was going through that made the whole difference to me as a person, right? when I met my husband was here in America and he was going to school. And he was working from home. And the things that he was telling me about his family, in reality, it is true. But as we got into a relationship, I realized that my husband did not present himself in the correct way or explain certain things to me in its entirety. So my husband's family is very religious, right? I am very religious. I'm not going to get into that. That's not what I'm talking about. When I started realizing that my husband is not as religious as he presented himself. And that would not be the problem. But the problem is, in my household, we're very religious. So when we go to religious events, when we go do this, my husband is reluctant to go. One of our first dates was actually to the church because I was serving in church, and he invited me to his church, and he saw that I was praying, I was meditating. I would pray for him when he leave the house. And this is all before we got married. I would call him, I would send him scriptures. So it was things like that he would say thank you and reply back automatically when we were dating. But as we got, once we got married, it was like a year later, and he was like, you don't have to send me that stuff. And I was like, what? So that was one of the things that I was looking at side-eye. And even now, that has affected our relationship. I'm not saying my husband does not follow God. That's not what I'm saying. But I'm opening up to you guys and saying, because this made me take a look at our marriage in its entirety. When it comes to this woman. So I had to compare my situation with this woman and her situation, because I don't want to be caught up like that. I don't want to be with somebody that, even if I believe she loved him. So even if she loved him, he still did what he did. So I looked at her situation. This guy had lied. This guy had manipulated her. This guy constantly was lying about things. And even though my husband was not like that, the one thing that he knew that I would be hurt about is religion. And he did not tell me that he wasn't big or as big as I am and my son is on religion. Because my son, I'll leave his information down below, but my son has grown a platform on his religion. My son is always talking about God. My son is a missionary. My son is actually preaching, and he's doing the ministry of God. And not to say I force him to do that. That is his will, and that's the way he wants to go. So that was one of the reasons why I'm looking at my husband's side eye, because of this woman. Another reason I'm looking at my husband's side eye is finances. This man lied about his finances. Lied about his finances. He lied and showed her screenshots of pictures that wasn't true. And I'm looking like, wow. I mean, this woman believed that this guy was financially able. And I'm looking at her and I'm looking at my relationship. I am comparing the two. So in our house, we have separate finances. We do have a joint bank account, yes. But as far as what goes into the joint bank account, that's it. But our separate bank accounts is separate. So I don't know how much finance is in my husband's bank account. I don't know. And in reality, since the bank account that we have is joint and all of my bank accounts is linked to this one bank account, he can see my bank account and he can see that bank account. But I don't know how much he got in the bank. So this was another thing that I was looking at side eye. I was like, okay, so this woman did not know how much this man had in the bank. And I don't know how much my husband have in the bank. I know. And then on top of that, my husband have investments that I don't know about. And even though I know he has those investments, I don't know what's in them. I don't know how much is in them. I don't know the amount that's in them. Yes, my husband goes to work. Yes, my husband is taking care of the bills. But this is another reason this lady made me look at my marriage, and I got scared because, again, this guy was lying to this woman. But I know, don't get me wrong, my husband, I do know he has bank accounts. I do know how much is in our joint bank account. I know how much he puts in our joint bank accounts, but I don't know how much in his personal bank account. So I'm like, okay, I'm in this situation of did I marry? Like, is this me? Is this something for me to see? And this guy lied about family. My husband has never lied about family. I've actually talked to his mom and dad. I have their number. I call them. If he's on the phone with his siblings, I'm able to get the phone and talk to them personally. And those are his real siblings, because one year, a couple of years ago, his brother had passed and we were going to the funeral, but we couldn't leave America to go. So I do know his family, and I know his family here, and he knows my family here. But it is just, when you hear something like this, because what this woman went through was a lot, and I felt so much empathy and compassion for this woman that I started looking at my relationship in a whole different way. And things can trigger me, and this definitely triggered me because I've known guys like this in the past, and I didn't want to be in did I marry in my relationship. And the last thing that I saw was that this guy literally would lie about doing things for her or taking her places or all of this. And my husband, he doesn't lie, but he doesn't tell me everything that he goes into. And that's what I saw. And when I saw that, maybe I'm pressing it, and maybe I'm looking at it as red flags, but in reality, I'm one of those people that when I see something, I literally take it in and I try to apply it to my life, or I try to see it from my point of view in my situation. So if you go back and you see the whole thing, you will start questioning your marriage. And this lady made me scared, and she made me think a whole different way about my husband. And I'm going to be very honest with you guys, because I try not to put anything out that I personally don't like. Everything that I put out, I try to put out to be honest and truthful. I'm not going to disrespect my husband, or I'm not going to put his business out there as opposed to everything. But I looked at this whole situation. I did tell you guys in my last video, which was a talkover, that my friend passing stagnated me in my marriage. It actually caused me to regroup mentally, because this person was younger than me. And not to say that we were so close that our relationship has gotten to the grieving process. I do grieve my friend, but it's me looking at her life and seeing that she was somewhere that I wish to be. And I miss her, yes, but it did a wake-up call on my mental. It did a wake-up call on my life. It did a wake-up call on everything that I personally am trying to do for me. You guys know, last year I left my job. This year I just left another job. And I don't want to come on here as an incomplete person, but that's where I'm at in life. I am incomplete. I don't have the things that I wish I had, and I am trying to get there, especially when it comes to my education. I did a video a long time ago. I'll link that video down below of what I was going to do for the next year, and I did none of those things because time is slipping away from everybody, especially since C19. So, and then I did another year, and I did none of those things again. So I've been trying to find my path since I've been on YouTube, and life is just happening around me. And that's where I'm stagnated at. Well, I'm not stagnated anymore because I've completed certain things in my life. You guys will see the fruit of my labor in a minute. But I really am stagnated mentally because of all of this. So just watching this woman talk about how this man tried her and how he was what kind of liar he was. I'll put it on the bottom of the screen. The type of liar he was, that he can come to her. And I remember one of the conversations she had with him is asking him, why did you marry me if you knew you were like this? And he said that he knew after a year she would leave him. The type of woman she was. And she was in a vulnerable state. So this is what made her marry him, because she thought that her life was not incomplete by not having a husband. And that is where I relate to her at. Because I found that I was incomplete at one point, and my husband did complete me, but I have to complete me first. And where I'm at in my life is I can see the tunnel. I can see the light. And this woman, whole life story and the situation that she was in brought me to a halt again, because I'm looking now at my marriage like, who did I marry? Not to be funny. And my husband is not doing something. So we talked about it. And the difference, I'm going to tell you the difference that I've learned in this marriage from where she was to where I'm at. Okay, the difference is my husband says that financially, even though I don't know what's in his personal bank account, if I needed to see it, I can log in and go into it. And that's one of the things that we did. So now I know. I do know that he's invested in 2 companies, and I know how much he invested in. So that was very open for us to go into. And I learned that, okay, so if I ask him, and this was logged in, this ain't no screenshot. I actually logged in, and he changed his password, but I actually got to log into his personal account and see those things. And I actually got to sign in to his investment portfolio and see the things that he had there. So signing in with his name, his address, and all of his personal information. So this was so totally different from what this woman was going on and what this woman had. So that was one of the things that my husband showed me. He said, if you needed that to give you, like, I was having anxiety, people. I was literally going through anxiety when it came to this woman. So it was like, am I in this woman's situation? In my husband, who the F did I marry? Like it got to the extreme where I was having nightmares about my situation. And I'm being very honest and open with you guys. So after that, my husband then explained to me that the religious thing. Okay, so when we talked about it, he said that I never said I wasn't big on religion. I just don't need it pushed down my throat all the time. He said if I'm going to pray, my relationship with God is personal. And I realized that even though his relationship with God was personal, it bugged me that some of the things that I wanted to do, like pray together and meditate together and go to church together, because we don't go to church at the same time. We don't go to church together all the time. Only when friends invite him to naming ceremony and baptism and we go to their church, it is the main time that we attend church together, or during the holidays. So I had to accept that my husband, even though he might not be as spiritual that I am, he is trying to make sure I understand that he is going to support me, but he doesn't need to be present to support me spiritually. And I don't need to flood his comments with every scripture in the Bible. So that was one of the things that I felt that really helped me put things in perspective. On the last thing, and the misunderstandings that we've had in our relationship, we are still going through therapy. So those misunderstandings, even though they're big or small, those misunderstandings is being handled in a professional capacity, I should say. They're not being handled by just any Tom, Dick, or Harry. we are going through therapy, and that is going to bring us back to where we need to be. So, but this woman, if y'all go watch her videos, because she got 1 through 50, and then she introduced it, and it's called Who the F Did I Marry? And her name is Teresa Reese. Yes, I'll put all her information down below. So let me finish. I'm going to wash this off my face. I'll be right back. While I'm waiting on this, I just want to say, by all means, question everything that you've been told. Question your relationship, question your marriage, because this woman went through a lot. The most mentally traumatic thing that I've heard she went through is, so the most dramatic thing I've been through is my husband, you know, we're not agreeing on certain things. So the most dramatic thing I've been through is basically, you know, dealing with this. I mean, my husband is like, you just, and we talked about it, and I don't know, this woman scared the daylight out of me. She literally scared the daylights out of me. I'm not even going to lie to you guys. I'm sitting up here and I'm saying to myself, wow. Like, wow. And I didn't, even though I talked to my best friend and she told me that I'm overthinking life right now. I could be overthinking life. I could be. But I'm not going to lie to you guys. This woman's story really, if you listen to it, you will understand what I'm saying. If you don't think about your situation while listening to this woman talk about this guy and comparing your relationship to this woman, then kudos to you. You are in the best relationship you could ever be in. But if you're like me and things like this touch you, I don't know if you can see that. If you're like me and things like this touch you, then we're we're together. We're together. Because this woman literally brought out my worst nightmare in thinking about my husband. And my husband knows it. So he wasn't taking it as serious, like I don't trust him. He was more in, why are you letting this bother you? Why are you comparing this woman and what she's going through to us? Why are you not thinking clearly? And I'm not even going to lie. Her whole situation got me on like, what? Like, I don't know how to say it, you guys. Her situation was like a whole awakening of what type of guy would do that. This guy actually took her to dealerships, going to see houses, looking at houses, looking at cars, knowing he was not going to buy it for her. I can't live. Although my husband, he's never done that. My husband has bought me a car before. Actually bought me 2 cars, to be honest with you. So, and I didn't know. I didn't know he was buying me cars. I didn't know. Like, if you watch my old videos, both cars is in my old videos. So if you know, when I upgraded my car, that's the one I bought. But my husband has bought me cars before. So it wasn't like I wasn't there when he purchased them, but I benefited from him purchasing them, I should say. And I was very happy. And he bought these cars cash. He didn't, the cars that he bought me, none of them had, like, I had to pay anything for them. So I can literally say that that was one thing that when I compared to what she went through looking for a house and knowing this man is a psychopath. And I don't care if you are in the best relationship of your life, you're going to look at and compare your life to this man. Because this man would be on the phone calling nobody and talking for 20 to 30 minutes every morning. And just having long, drawn out conversations. Do you understand what you got to be doing in life for you to do that? To actually call somebody or to pretend to call somebody every morning. Every morning. And fake a conversation. I don't have those acting skills. Y'all think I'm playing. Y'all think I'm playing. This was the most jaw-dropping story. If you go back and listen to this story, you would understand what I'm saying. Because even you would say, whoa, that guy did that. Like, I'm going to leave. Please, if anything, go to her question and answers. Because if you don't want to watch all 50, just go to her question and answers. And you will understand everything this guy had to say, everything she had to say. And she chronologically ordered this, every single one. And this guy had a criminal history. So it's like, wow. Wow in a big way. So after me and my husband talked about this and this whole situation, I realized that I was just overthinking it. And everybody says, okay, you overthought it. And I did. I'm not even going to lie to you. I did overthink it. But it's better to overthink this situation than to be caught up in the situation. Or to be thinking that my husband and comparing my husband to this man. Because this lady is mentally stagnated in her life. She don't even want to see another relationship. So as I'm looking at this woman and I'm saying to myself, wow, she really went through the ringer. I'm looking at the situation and I do not want to go through that. So I looked at this whole situation and I was like, yeah. Literally, I was like, yeah. So, I don't know if you guys know, but when you see this video, tell me if you saw so you guys know. If you guys saw Who the F Did I Marry series on TikTok, let me know what you thought. Let me know, did it scare you like it scared me? It caused me anxiety. I had sleepless nights thinking and comparing my husband to this man. And trust me, it was not a nice situation. But I realized that my husband is not like this man. And I realized that the things that we deal with, he's more open than this guy is. And he wasn't lying about anything. He just wasn't telling me the whole truth or admitting certain parts because he's being a man and that's how he felt. But I told him I prefer to know. If it hurts me, I prefer to know. You get what I'm saying? And not to say that he didn't tell me. It's just that some things didn't cross his mind to tell me. And that's fair because I don't tell him certain things and certain things cross my mind and I forget to tell him. So, but if you watch the series, please tell me your opinion. Leave it down below. I want to know. I want to know what you thought. And that is the end of this video. You guys, thank you. I appreciate everything that you do. The giveaway for last month, the person decided that they did not want me to announce who they were because they are a friend. So I gave them the anonymity. I'm sorry. I did pick a giveaway winner and the person did win the prize. She wanted to be anonymous and I kept that way because I do know her personally and we do have a personal relationship. But the person who selected her did not know I knew her. So that is how that went. But this video is to say that this is a giveaway. So you guys, I'm giving away, again, $25. So once you see this video, you would know. And the giveaway ends the end of this month on the 29th. Hopefully the winner would like to be announced. So thank you for coming to my channel. You guys, we're growing, we're growing, we're growing. I love singing that because we are growing. And we're getting to that 500. We like what? 25 off, 25 off, 25 off, 25 off, 25 off, 25. Okay, let me stop. So if you like, comment, share, don't forget to enter the giveaway, make a comment. Let me know what you think about this whole thing and everything that I've been going through. And this is the video where you're supposed to comment, and it is a giveaway. So please comment on this video. This is the giveaway for February. So like, comment, subscribe, and don't forget to share. Thank you guys for coming to my channel. Have a good day.